afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hi. Good afternoon. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Good afternoon. Hi. Good afternoon. Balogun, hi. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hi. You're so welcome. Okay, I'm trying to pronounce your names, but so I'm so sorry if I can't actually pronounce your name very well. Please, I'm so sorry about that. But I'm just trying to pronounce your name and just say hi to you. Empress, hi, good afternoon. How you doing? It's so good to see you. Hi, good afternoon. You're so welcome. I'm waving back at you. Hi, good afternoon. You're so welcome. You are so welcome. I'm actually waiting for a little bit of people to join before I kick off and start. Amara, hi, good afternoon. You're so welcome. Hi, good afternoon. I'm waving back at you. How you doing? Val, how you doing? Good afternoon. Hi, good afternoon. Good afternoon. You're so welcome. I'm just waiting for a little bit of people to join. I see requests already. Don't worry. Hi, Kenny. Good afternoon. I'm waving back at you. Choma, hi. Good afternoon. I'm waving back at you. What's up? Hi, you're so welcome. I'm just waiting a little bit for people to join. A little bit more people to join before I kick off and start. It's so good to see you all. Justice, hi. I'm waving back at you. Hola, hi, good afternoon. You're so welcome. If I can't pronounce your name well, I'm so sorry about that, okay? Hola, hi, good afternoon. You say good afternoon too. Hi. Jones, something is saying, hello, is UK study visa decision processing still 6 weeks, please? Okay, please, you know what, drop your questions. I will definitely attend to it. I've not even started yet. You're already asking me questions. Hi, good afternoon, Jones. I'm going to answer your questions, but I'd like to just present whatever it is that I have before I kick off on that. Do you understand? Hi, good afternoon. Okay, so I think I can start now. As you all know, I am Mo from Nexi Concept Limited. And yeah, the topic we're about to discuss on today, another beautiful Wednesday, is looking to relocate with your family through the study route in the UK for say UK, Canada, US, Australia for January 2023. So like we all tell you that admission process is actually ongoing right now as we speak. January 2023 is just around the corner, and we would always ask you that why won't you just start your application process now? Say you want to go to the UK, you want to go to Canada, you want to go to Australia, wherever it is that you want to go, we can actually start the process for you. So it is not too late it's not too early to start. Do you understand? So we would advise that please send us a DM as soon as possible. Tony, hi, good afternoon. I'm waving back at you. Send us a DM as soon as possible and let's kick it off and start for you. Do you understand? I am Soko something says cute smile. Good afternoon, ma'am. Oh, I'm so sorry if I can't pronounce your name well. Hi, good afternoon. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. I see you all joining. You are so welcome. Okay, so yeah, so we're talking about relocating. Everybody wants to japa, right? And everybody wants to japa to the next available option that they have. Okay, so say you want to go to the UK, you want to go to Canada, you want to go to Australia, or you want to go to the US. Nexi Concept Limited is always ready and is always here to actually help you with any option that you may have. So you could always just send us a DM for either of these and let us put in your application as soon as possible. And like I said earlier, that January is just around the corner. Before you know it, it's going to be January. So why don't we put in your application as soon as possible? Okay, so now let me start with the UK, yeah? Why would anybody want to study in the UK? Right now, UK is a hot cake, and you all know that UK is hot cake, right? Everybody wants to japa to the UK, and it's because of the amazing benefits that UK has to offer. As a matter of fact, each of these countries have amazing benefits to offer. It's just that they have a little bit of differences between them. That in respect to the students' perks, in respect to what they want, they might not see it in this particular country and then they will see it in another country. So that's why we have different available countries where you can actually study. Do you understand? And the good thing is that you can also relocate with your family. Now, for you to be able to do that, you have to have the option to study your master's degree. Take for instance UK now. You cannot study, you cannot go with your family if you're actually going to be going for an undergraduate course, and you know that, right? You can only study. You can only go with your family if you're actually going for a direct master's degree. And part of the benefits of actually studying in the UK, aside from the fact that the UK is actually really, really blooming right now, and you know you have your 2 years post-study work, right? And you know you have the amazing opportunity for you to relocate with your family, which is one thing that everybody would always want. But I have some students that have say like HND, and they want direct masters. They can also relocate with their family, and those that have third class too and they want direct masters. But those that have say lower credits HND and they can't get a direct masters, they can always do a top up, but that won't grant them the grace. Or if they do a pre-masters, it won't grant them the top up will not grant them the opportunity to travel with their family. But if they do a pre-masters masters, that will grant them an opportunity to travel with their family. Do you understand? Okay, so aside from part of the benefits that we have for studying in the UK, you have academic benefits. Your education will be recognized wherever you go. You know that, right? So you know that you have amazing opportunities, knowing fully well that you are not just globally recognized, but you are also internationally recognized just by studying in the UK. I see you joining. Wizzy, hi, good afternoon. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Please, if you have any question for me, just drop it in the comment section and I'll be sure to attend to it, yeah? Okay, so part of the benefits of also studying in the UK is that wherever it is that you decide to study, you can wherever it is that you decide to study, you can always get it in the UK. Do you get? You might say you actually want to study inside London, or you say you want to study outside London. It depends on where. You might say you even have people in is much more beneficial to you. Do you understand what I mean? So you gather enough skills by studying in the UK. You gather enough skills, and for you to be able to succeed, not just within the school, but also when you work. And as an international student, you get a lot of job opportunities by studying in the UK. I just want to just give a brief benefits, because we are always talking about the UK now, and you know that we're always talking about the UK, right? So I'm just giving the brief benefits of why studying in the UK would actually make sense for you. Now, when we're always asking that you submit your documents to us, and you know that we would always ask for your CV, we'll ask for your transcripts, we'll ask for your references, we'll ask for your statement of results, we'll ask for your WAEC, right? And other documents that you would need for you to be able to put in your application for the UK, yeah? Now, so say you want to, you've actually gone through the process for applying to the UK. You submitted your documents to us. After submitting your documents, we applied for you. Once we apply for you, you get your offer. Say you have a conditional offer, you have conditions to be met, you have an unconditional offer, and you've gotten your unconditional offer. Some schools will say that you should provide your bank statements before you are given your CAS, and while some will say that without bank statements, they will give you your CAS. And CAS is confirmation of acceptance of studies. I'm just giving a breakdown or a brief intro about what UK is all about, yeah? So now, after you've gotten your CAS, you have to apply for your visa. A lot of students would want to go with their family, right? So when you're applying for your visa with your family, you need you'll be needing documents such as the data page of say you have your daughter. If you are married and you have kids, your data page of your international passport for your daughter, data page of international passport for the mother. You need data page for the husband. You need the BRP page. If the husband, say maybe the husband is already there, and the student is already there, and then the family wants to go and join them, and the student already has a BRP, then you need that. Then you need the marriage certificate, you need transcripts, you need the visa page for travels. Then you need consent letter for the kids. Do you understand? Then you need offer letter, you need CAS, you need bank statements, you need either WAEC, your WAEC results or NECO results. Then you need your TB test, newspaper publication, and birth certificates. Those are the documents that you need to apply for your visa. Do you understand? Now, aside from that, the major reason why we're actually here is to talk about the reasons why how your family could actually travel with you, and the best way for them to japa. Do you understand? So using this route of study, they get an opportunity to be able to travel with you as dependents. And there are two people that can actually travel with you as dependents. You have your spouse dependent and you have your child dependent. You notice that I spoke about the husband international passport, and I spoke about the child's international passport as well. So you need, and then you need consent for the child as well. So now we have the immigration route, the points-based immigration system, graduate immigration route. So by the time you are done, say you've applied for your visa, and then you've actually traveled to the UK, and then you've decided to go study. You paid your deposit, you paid your 50% on enrollment, and then you've studied and you're done with school. Like, you remember that we always tell students, hi, Remy, hi, good afternoon. I see you joining. You're so welcome. Okay, now you remember that we always tell students that a lot of students don't know that for you to be able to go for your 2 years post-study work, you have to actually apply for it. And it's actually very important that you read, and it's important that you study. So when you study for it, you have enough points that would help you to be able to apply. And aside from the fact that you're applying for it, you're actually going to be paying for it as well. I'll be talking more about that soon. So now you're actually applying for it. Now the UK has a world-leading education sector, and it welcomes talented and high-potential students to universities abroad. Yeah. Now, those that are eligible for this points-based immigration system graduate route, which is also your 2 years post-study work visa, it's those that actually have gone through school. After going through the normal, the duration of your course, you've actually finished, you've graduated. Now, the UKVI has to ensure that they would send a mail to the school to be sure that you've actually graduated before you can actually apply for this. The fee for this is you pay £715 as application fee for this graduate route that I just talked about, and then you pay your immigration health surcharge, which is £624 as well. Now that's £624 is per year. Do you understand? Now the health surcharge for 2 years is £1,248, and then for 3 years is £1,872. Now, most of the time, you have your 2 years post-study work, and you have to pay for the 2 years. So at the end of the day, by the time you are done with studies, you'll be paying for the 2 years. So the 2 years IHS fee that you'll be paying, including the application fee, would amount to you paying almost like £2,000 separately. That's for your graduate route, if you will be going through the graduate route. And this would actually give you an opportunity. We're always saying it that students could always get their 2 years post-study work. Please just drop your questions. I will attend to it as soon as possible, please. As soon as I'm done. So, okay, we always say that you get your 2 years post-study work, but a lot of people don't know that you pay for it. And a lot of people don't know that you actually have to apply for it. So that's that about that. I'm just checking my notes. Just give me a minute. Okay. Now, for you to be able to apply, you go to UKVI site to apply, and once you apply for it, you get your tier 4. It's still your tier 4 visa, yeah. Okay, so the application process is slightly different to what you experienced when you first applied. For the vast majority of applicants, the process will be entirely digital, and if your application is successful, you'll be issued an e-visa. You will start your application at, you could always go to the UKVI site to actually apply there, and where you actually create a UK visa and immigration account and use the UK immigration ID check app to verify your identity. So you have a whole lot of process to go through for you to be able to do this. Do you get? So you'll be able to apply for it, and you will need your CAS to do that as well from your current study to apply as well. And if you don't have, you should definitely have your CAS number, so you should be able to use your previous CAS to actually apply as well. After doing that, you would definitely have to wait for a little bit for you to be able to get a reply from UKVI in respect to your application process. Do you understand? So depending on how soon you apply. Now, the good thing about this is that you can actually apply while you are studying. You don't necessarily have to finish school before you actually apply. Do you get? Now, another thing which is amazing to a lot of students is that you have two options. Yeah, you have your graduate route, and then you have your skilled worker route. That is the tier 2. Now, the skilled worker route is through sponsorship, where you say you're actually working with a particular organization, and that organization that you're working with decides that they actually want to retain you, and then they give you sponsorship. Now, if you can choose between either, if you say you're going through the graduate route, I've just told you exactly how to go about it. Yeah. Now, if you say you actually want to go through the skilled worker visa, the visa route, you would definitely have to have an employment. Do you understand? You have to be working somewhere, and that job that you're doing has to make sense. Do you understand? The job you're doing has to really, really make sense. Like, the job you're doing has to be able to pay you well enough. You should be earning a minimum of, say, £25,000 or thereabouts. Do you understand? It gives you an opportunity to get a tier 2. Now, you won't have to pay that £2,000 that I just spoke about, that you need to pay. You won't have to do that. Also, I'm coming, just give me a minute. You need to work for a UK employer that's been approved by the Home Office. You need to have a certificate of sponsorship from that employer. Yeah, and you need to have a job that is highly eligible. Not that you're working in a restaurant, or you're working in a place where I don't know. You shouldn't just be working in menial jobs, but you should have a good job. Do you understand? Now, these things are actually graded by points. So that's why I call it a point-based immigration system. So each point that you have will accumulate together to actually give you the opportunity to stay longer in the UK. So now, when these guys give you the sponsorship, they can actually give you sponsorship of, say they want to give you 2 years, they might give you 3 years, they might give you 5 years, depending on how generous your boss is. Do you get? So if you want to go for the skilled worker visa, then that will be fine, and you don't necessarily have to come back to your home country to apply for that. You can even apply for that while you are still in the UK. Do you understand? Benny, hi, I see you joining in. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. I see you all joining in. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so just give me a minute. I'm checking through my notes. So that is that about that. Now, for you to study, I'm coming, just give me a minute. Okay, now, so you have amazing, like I said before about UK, so you have amazing opportunities for you to be able to do that. Yeah, so by doing this, you studying in the UK gives you the opportunity for your family to also stay. So say you do you know, another amazing thing is this. Yeah, you actually have the opportunity to travel with your family, and you get to work 20 hours per week during your time. Yeah, and then your family, whoever it is that is your dependent, say your husband, also gets the same amount of time. Now, the amazing thing is that if your husband decides to get a job, they can actually do certification courses while they are there. They can take certification courses, and then now eventually get a good job that gives them the opportunity to apply for skilled worker visa. Do you know that by the time you are done, you can actually switch and become the person's dependent? Isn't that amazing in the UK? So it gives you an amazing opportunity for you to stay longer in the UK. So now, about Canada. Let's go to Canada. I hope you guys are having fun and you're enjoying this small presentation that I have for you this afternoon. Okay, so let's go to Canada. Now, Canada is the second largest country in the world, and it occupies roughly the northern area of the continent of Northern America. So that's about Canada. Canada is it's welcoming to immigrants, and also it is bilingual. They speak English, they speak French, if anyone. And then for Canada, they have like 10 Canadian provinces. We have British Columbia, we have Nova, we have Ontario, and so on and so forth. Now, for Canada in general, it's a place that everybody wants to go to, right? even though they say Canada is actually very, very cold, people still don't mind. Like, everybody just wants to jump as Canada, but the Canada process is a bit, it's not as easy as UK. That's the truth. Canada process is a bit more tedious, not because of the fact that you will not get a school, but because of the process. The process is quite tedious. Given the visa, you applying for visa, they actually scrutinize. They want to make sure that they see that the process is actually really, really smooth for you, but at the same time, they want to be sure that you are really, really qualified to come to Canada. Do you understand? Just give me a minute. Yeah. Their economy is highly developed and is one of the largest in the world. Canada is the world's 9th largest economy. In 2020, the country's annual gross domestic product was about 1.64 trillion Canadian dollars. Canada's economy is highly dependent on international trade, with exports and imports of goods and services, each comprising about 1/3 GDP. Yeah, so that's just a little bit of summary about Canada. Now, their education system is actually quite affordable. Studying in Canada gives you a world-class quality education while allowing you to save a lot of money compared to other Western countries. Yeah, their quality of education is known all over the world, so you will also be highly internationally recognized. They have very outstanding quality of education in Canada. Their study standard of living for Canada, their cost of living in Canada is higher than in any other country. It's still a country with reasonable prices, though, considering it's a first world country. Now, the work student life balance. International students have the advantage of working for up to 20 hours every week as per the conditions of their study permits in Canada. Not only supplementing their source of income while studying, but also helping them familiarize themselves with the potential environment in Canada. Now, student safety. In Canada is actually a very safe place for you to go. Do you understand? Like, it's really, really safe. It's not as populated yet as UK, because right now, if you throw a stone in any school in UK, you will hit one Nigerian. Do you understand? But Canada is still looking for people, yes, and they are not still as much well populated as UK is. Now, the immigration opportunities, Canada is one of the most attractive countries to migrate to. Yeah, they have very friendly immigration policies. They have good climates there, although it's always very cold though. They have amazing job opportunities as well. Do you understand? As long as you go with the normal, you actually go through the normal routes, you will definitely get an opportunity to be able to work, and not just work any kind of menial jobs, but to be able to work in a good job while studying in Canada. Do you understand? Now, the process for you to be able to go through Canada is you choose a program that you actually want to study. You prepare your documents, you gather all your documents together, which are relatively almost the same thing as the documents we require for UK. I see you joining in. Hi, welcome. Just please, if you have any question, drop your question in the comment section. I'll be sure to attend to it. Hi, I see you joining in. You're so welcome. Okay, so yeah, so the process is relatively almost the same, and then we put in your application for you, and once we do that, we submit your application. But it's advisable that you put in if you're actually going for, say, September next year, it's very, very important that you start working on gathering your documents from now. Do you understand? So early within the year is the best time for you to apply in Canada. Do you understand? Hi, good afternoon. Hi, I see you joining in. You're so welcome. Okay, so once you've done that, you await for the school to get back to you, and then you apply for your visa, and before you know it, you're there in Canada. That's how it works. So it's as simple as that, but it's still not as simple as that. It can really, really be quite daunting, but that's why we are here for you. We are here to actually make the process extremely seamless, right? Okay, so I'm sorry if I'm too fast. I have a lot to talk about, so I'm trying as much as possible to rush it. Do you understand? So my sincere apologies if I'm actually too fast. But I hope you're enjoying this little presentation that I have for you, right? Okay, so now part of the documents that you'll be needing for Canada is you need your completed application form, you need your Ielts, because even if there are some schools in Canada that you would apply for without your IELTS, but when you're applying for your visa, you still need it. So it's important that you just get your academic IELTS, and then you need a statement of purpose, a very, very detailed statement of purpose. Do you understand? Because they are very, very particular about the statements of purpose. You need your certificates, your transcripts. Now, if you need an affidavit of financial support, if someone is actually supporting you financially, then you need your bank statement, you need your CV, your passport, your references, and then you need additional certificates should you have any that you actually want to drop. Now, some of the universities that we have, I didn't mention some of the universities we have in UK already. You know, University of Hull, you know, Birmingham City University, you know, Coventry, you know, the Montforts. Yeah, so some of the universities we have in Canada, we have the University of Toronto, we have the British Columbia, we have University of Waterloo, we have York University, so we have a lot of universities like that. So anyone that you're actually interested in, or anyone that is of preference to you, we could always help to apply for the university for you on your behalf. Do you understand? And help you through the whole process from start to finish. So should you be interested in studying in Canada, you could always reach out to us. It gives you an amazing opportunity to just relocate and stay in Canada. Yeah, so that's that about the universities. So we have they have various courses too. You can study an MBA if you want. If it's engineering you're interested in, if it's science, if it's arts, if it's information technology, whatever course it is that you're actually interested in, or whatever course it is that goes in line with your future career plans, we can actually make that available for you. Do you understand? So I just listed all those universities just because of our time, because I wouldn't want to go into too much details about them. But if you want to know more about studying in Canada, please, you will definitely send us a DM and we'll definitely attend to you. Do you understand? So, like I said, they have various courses in science, in arts, in engineering, whatever course it is that you're actually looking for, we could always get for you by studying in Canada. Okay, so yeah. So I'm coming, just give me a minute. So average cost of living in Canada. The cost of living in Canada varies actually, and as such they have various factors of where you decide to reside. Now you can actually decide on wherever it is that you actually want to reside on, based on your whatever school it is that you have chosen. Yeah, so it's always easier and always better. Hello, hi, I'm saying hi to you. You're so welcome. Hi. Okay, so based on wherever it is that you should choose to actually study at, you could definitely, Folashade, hi, good afternoon, you're so welcome. You could always definitely get a place to actually stay. Based on the cost of living actually determine it varies based on wherever it is that you're studying. That's what I'm trying to say. It varies based on wherever it is that you're actually studying at. So an individual residing in a major Canadian city will not incur the same expenses as someone else residing in a remote area. Do you understand? So the cost of living actually varies. And now, in the same manner, the cost of living in Canada depends on how you are able to quickly adapt and familiarize yourself with your new home. Do you understand? So it actually varies as well. Now, the average cost of living in Canada is around 1,702 Canadian dollars for one person, or 3,911 for a family of 4. Do you understand? Should you, including rent, should you decide to actually stay in Canada? Now we have, like I said before, we have the various places where you would want to stay, depending on the cost of living. They actually vary. Do you understand? So now, to study in Canada, you would need to obtain a Canadian study permit, which serves as a student visa for the duration of your study. You do not need a Canadian study permit if your course or program lasts 6 months or less. Applying for a study permit costs 150 Canadian dollars, and so that's that about having your study permit. Yeah. Now, documents that you would need for Canadian visa: you need your valid passport, you need proof of acceptance by a designated learning institution, that is your school. Then you need your proof of funds, you need the passport size, your international passport, you need immigration medical examination, IME, you need English proficiency test score, and then you need a police statement. So you need those for actually applying to study in Canada. Hi, I see you joining. Please drop your questions. If you have any questions for me, just drop it. I actually just want to give you all the information that I have for you, and then I would actually take your questions. I see your questions already. Please just give me a minute. I would definitely attend to you, and thank you so much for staying on, and thank you so much for joining. Okay, now postgraduate work permits. You get to work, and then you, like I said before, that you can get to travel with your family for say you want to study in Canada. You definitely can get to study, and then you can get to study, take your family along with you. And the good thing is that the same amount of work. The same amount of work options that you have is the same amount of work options that your family has. Do you understand? And now so for you to be eligible for the work permit, you need to be 18 years old and older. You have to have continuously studied full-time in Canada in a program at least 8 months long. You should have completed and passed all your program requirements, and you should have graduated from one of the following. You should have graduated from, say, a public institution, college, or school. You should have graduated from that. And then also Canadian private schools that can legally award degrees under provincial law for your master's degree or your bachelor's degree. Not only if you are enrolled in a study program leading to a degree as authorized by the province. So you apply within 180 days of completing the program. So the moment you are done with your program, you could always apply for your work permit. So now the length of your study can go as high as 2 years, yes, and then you get to stay for that long also. Just give me a minute, let me check my notes for more information for you. Okay, now, so now I just want to drop some questions that people would always ask about Canada, because a lot of people would ask that can they bring their spouse? You know, the major reason why we're here is to talk about how you can relocate with your family to, say, Canada, US, UK, or Australia. So they would ask, so while you're your spouse, your partner would be eligible for work permits as well. So while you're studying, like I said, they would also be eligible for work permits. So now they can actually work full-time, do you get, as an employer, or they can actually work part-time, depending on the one that they actually want. Do you understand? So that's that about that. Now, a lot of people would always ask you if they can actually bring their children along. Of course, you can bring your children along. So any parents applying to study in Canada is welcome to include dependent children on their study permit application. The dependent child in Canadian terms is any child under the age of 22 or over the age of 22. Under the age of 22, yeah, or above. I mean under the age of 22, please don't get me wrong. So a dependent child is under the age of 22. Now, who has depended, is fully dependent on their parents, yes, can always come as a dependent to study in Canada. Do you understand? So once inside Canada, all children 18 years and younger are allowed to study at Canada elementary school and secondary schools. The majority of Canada's schools for children are public, meaning that there are no costs to attend. So they don't charge, because they are public schools. They won't charge your children for actually studying. So you can definitely take your child to Canada with you. You can take your spouse to Canada with you. So that's that about that Canada. So all children in Canada actually, by law, they are actually required to attend school. So it's very, very important that you know that. So even when the parent is actually working, they definitely have to take their children to school, and so they have the opportunity to do that. So just give me a minute. Yeah, so I have a question here too that says, can I study in Canada after studying as can I stay in Canada after studying as an international student, which is part of the reasons why we're here. Okay, so being an international student in Canada, it will definitely increase your chances and your eligibilities for you to be able to apply for permanent residency. So and to open a door for your immigration programs as well. Your experience studying and working and practicing with your English proficiency can all contribute to your eligibility. Just like UK too. For you to be able to stay back, you definitely have to gain some points for you to be able to do that. Do you understand? And you can definitely apply for that. Okay. Yeah, so so if you choose to migrate to Canada permanently following the completion of your studies, you will likely do so through a federal express entry system. This system consolidates the three major categories of federal economic immigration and groups all eligible candidates into pool together. So they have their entry point system for students at the moment they are done with studies, and I think you actually have to apply for that as well, and it is actually graded based on the accumulation of points that you have. Do you understand? So they call it a comprehensive ranking system, CRS. So it's called a CRS score, is what they will use in grading whether or not you'll be able to stay behind. So your CRS score is calculated differently depending on whether or not you are applying with accompanying partner. Do you understand? So they will use all that. So the information that you give them would actually gather more points for you. So say your partner already has a master's degree, or you already have some amount of degrees or some certification courses that are added to your points. It will give you more chances of being able to stay back. Do you understand? So you definitely have to apply for all that too. So yeah, you can also double your chances of receiving an ITA if you or your spouse submit profiles of the express entry pool. So this would also give you an opportunity. Your like I said before, that your partner's experience may make eligible will make it much more. It will gather more points for you in terms of studying in Canada. So now like, I have another question here that says, am I applying for a study permit through a student? I'm applying for a study permit through a student's direct system. Can I bring my family with me? Because we have a lot of students that will always come and say that they don't know if they can actually take their family with them. And of course, like I said earlier, that you can definitely take your family with you, and you may bring, you can definitely bring your dependent child, your dependent partner. Now, if you have people that are not your dependents that would want to go with you, you can actually your extended family, they can always apply for a visiting visa to see if they can actually apply to see if they can actually come and join you for a visiting visa. So now for your dependent child and your partner-in-law, they may be eligible for a study or work permit or a visit visa, like I said earlier. So you must submit your applications online for you to be able to get this done. So now, so for most you need to study. So before you can actually study in Canada, you definitely need a study permit. Some people in specific situations may not. That's for those that are actually in specific situations. Then you should apply for a study permit before coming to, so before you actually decide on going to Canada, you definitely have to apply for your study permit. Do you understand? And only some people can apply for a study permit from within Canada. So only specific people can do that. Yes. Then before you apply, you must have a letter of acceptance from your school. Then so that's that about that. Also, you may be eligible to work in Canada while studying if your study permit includes a condition that states that you can work on or off campus. You must also meet all other requirements. Say you're an international student that wants to work while studying. And also, you can only start working in Canada when you start your study program. Do you understand? Hi, I see you joining in. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Okay, so if you have any question for me, please drop it in the comment section. I'll be sure to attend to it as soon as I'm done here. So you can always get that. So you can work on or you can work off campus. Do you understand? So also, another question that I may have is that as a foreign student, can I return home or travel without outside Canada while studying? Yes, you can. However, your study permit is not a travel document. It doesn't give you the right to travel to or enter Canada. Along with your permit, you may need a visitor visa to add to your permit, and you may need an electronic travel authorization for you to be able to do that. So I'm just taking some questions that may actually come up in respect to students' desires to study in Canada. So now apply, you definitely have to apply for your study permit, like I said before, as soon as possible, and you apply, you try as much as possible to apply early. So, and then the moment you receive your letter of acceptance is when you apply for that. Do you understand? So yeah, so you should apply for your study, like I said before, and you can definitely always apply in your designated learning institute. Yeah. So now I have a question here that says that I've applied to extend my study permits. So for students that say they already have a study permit and then they've applied to extend their study permits, now can I travel outside Canada and be able to return? Of course you can, if that is part of your story in terms of your inquiries, or you just want to know more about Canada. Of course you can. You can leave Canada and return as long as you have your visit visa, and then you have your electronic travel authorization. As long as it is still valid, you can definitely do that. Do you understand? If your visitor's visa or ETA, that is your electronic travel authorization, is expired, you must apply for and receive a new one before you can leave Canada. Do you understand? So yeah. Now, you don't need to change your study permits if you are changing your school or study program. As long as you have your study permit, guarantees the opportunity for you to be able to stay in Canada, and as long as the duration of your course is actually going to permit you to do so. Do you understand? So I see you joining in. Hi, you're so welcome. I'm talking about Canada, a little bit about Canada, and the fact that you can definitely travel with your dependents. You can travel with your spouse, you can travel with your child, and then your child gets to study, they get to go to school without even paying for it, because most of their schools there are actually public schools. So that is that about Canada. So now I'm trying as much as possible to rush it because we don't really have much time and it's a lot of information. As a matter of fact, if I were to actually wait and have this like fully and give you all the information fully, I would really take a lot of time. But I'm trying as much as possible so I can answer your questions before I'm being timed out, to rush this and give you as much information as I can. So kindly bear with me. Please drop your questions in the comment section and I'll be sure to attend to it. Okay, so for Australia, Australia is actually applauded for its focused and practical education system and world-class infrastructure. Yeah, it attracts a lot of international students owing to its high living standard with relatively low expenses. Now, these factors make Australian education among the top choices for students who wish to pursue their higher education abroad. Now, the degrees gained in the country are internationally recognized. And above all, the student support services are actually very excellent. Have you seen Australia? Australia is actually very beautiful. And guess what? Their economy, their government, they are very guarded. They are so guarded. Like, you can easily get a school in Australia. You can easily get an unconditional offer in Australia. But for you to pass through their embassy, you have to go through scrutiny. Serious scrutiny. You know, I just spoke about Canada, right? Like, Canada's system is actually very tedious. Australia's system is much more tedious. You go through a lot of scrutiny. Like, they need to be sure that this is exactly what you want to come and do, because they are so guarded in respect to their infrastructure, they are guarded in respect to their culture, everything. They are really guarded. Do you understand? So now, eligibility for Australian universities, admissions to diploma level courses require applicants to have scored minimum of like 60% marks. Then for bachelor's degree, you should have like above 65% and above. Do you understand? In respect to your grade. So now, so like I said, and you know, Australia also has their own dollar, so they have the Australian dollar. So now, students applying for master's admission in Australian university, they must have their 3-year graduation system for entry into most postgraduate courses, which is equivalent to an Australian bachelor's degree. Do you understand? With total education of 12 years. Now, some courses and universities may require a qualification equivalent of Australian bachelor's degree as well. And then before you can actually put in any application for Australia, you need to make sure that everything is being transcribed in English. So say you have a degree, you know, you have some people that actually go to all these Arab universities, and then when they get their certificates, actually being transcribed in Arab. But alongside that certificate that you have, it's very, very important that you get your certificate transcribed in English. You have to rewrite it in English before you can apply to Australia. And I know that Australia will be really, really mouth-watering for a whole lot of people, because it's a place that a lot of people don't have the chance to actually go. The schools are pretty expensive, I won't lie, they are. But at the same time, Australia is an amazing place to be. You have universities such as Griffith in Australia. It's amazing. Do you understand? Academic requirements. You need to provide details of your education, including your course subjects, your grade, in the applications that you are submitting. Students applying for admissions are required to submit and their transcripts from each college that they've gone to, or university that they have attended, or secondary school. So you need to make sure that all your documents are intact. Now, if the transcripts or other relevant, like I said, you have to definitely make sure that everything is being transcribed in English. Now, inquiries regarding the applications must be sent at least 12 to 15 months before the proposed date of admission. So you imagine, the same way with Canada. Like Canada, you have to have applied way before, just like Australia as well. You have to have applied way before. I know that a lot of people don't really tap into Australia, but Australia is also a very good place to actually look into. Do you understand? So you might actually want to just check out the images of their landscape and all of that. They have one really long river like that. I can't remember the name of the river now. Very long. They have very beautiful landscapes. Do you understand? And amazing places to be. It's actually a very good place to be. So now, so in terms of application requirements, secondary and higher secondary reports or certificates along with transcripts, you need that. You need your Ielts. You need, if you're applying for an MBA or a degree in higher education like doctorate programs, you may be required to provide your work experience certificates or letters mentioning the complete work details. Like you have to give full details of your work experience, and you have to get letters for it. So you have to get references. You have to get a reference, and then key responsibilities and position held has to be specifically stated. I told you, Australia, they are very detailed. Do you understand? You need to you need your statement of purpose, which has to be extremely detailed as well, and then your letter of recommendation, like I said. Now documents checklist for Australia. You need a completely filled application form. You need your Ielts. You need your academic certificates. You need your international passport. You need your job experience certificates. Imagine, you need to, that is if you have anyways, but you need something that just shows that you're actually working, and then you need a minimum of instructions, that they call it university. The truth is that it is affordable, but it's still affordably expensive for some people. But the truth is that let's just say it's still a bit affordable though. Do you understand what I mean? Okay, so now their quality of education is extremely high. They have very high quality of education. They have very good cost of living. The cost of living for Australia is quite high too, but cheaper than many other countries like in the UK or US. And then the good thing is that students get value for their money in terms of cost of living while studying in Australia. Now, to reduce your cost of living, for a purpose-built student accommodation, you could always apply for that has Wi-Fi and all of that, so you could always apply for that. I would attend to your questions. Please just let me finish with this, yeah? Perry, I will attend to your questions. So please, if you have any questions, just drop it in the comment section. I will definitely attend to it. So we have graduate prospects as well. Overseas students are allowed to work for 20 hours a week while studying in any Australian university. You can use this opportunity to earn some money to offset your living expenses during your stay. It will also help you to gain work experience in your field of interest while you are studying in Australia. Now, after studying in Australia, it's quite easy to find a job. Do you understand? So that you can make ends meet. It's very easy to actually find a job. There are several jobs on offer in an array of disciplines like agriculture, data analytics, cyber security, digital marketing, commercial analytics. So you have amazing job offers there, and then you have amazing courses to go for as well. Then also cultural diversity. Australia is among the most culturally diverse countries in the world. So Australia is actually prone for diversity and inclusion. Its people are actually known to be extremely sociable. It's really a lovely place to be. You need to check it out. Do you understand? So if you're interested in Australia, please send us a DM and we'll definitely attend to it. And you still can go with your family. Do you understand? Yeah, so they have there, and you get just like UK, just like Canada, your certificates are going to be internationally recognized. So it's a win-win, to be honest. It's actually a win-win. So now, in respect to their job, in fact, around 50% of students, that after the moment they're done with their studies, about 50% of students always decide to go back to their home countries, and about 4% move even from Australia. You can actually move to another country, or you can decide that you're actually going to be staying along. So they have amazing opportunity for students that actually want to stay back in Australia. Now, once the studies are completed, students can apply for work permits 484. Called Skilled Graduate Temporary Visa, which will allow you to work from 18 months to 3 years. Do you understand? The 402 Training and Research Visa, and then we have the 886 Skilled Sponsor Resident Visa, and those are the work and our work visas, which are sponsored by employers for long-term jobs. So you can actually get the skilled worker visa as well in Australia. They have amazing opportunities too, and the good thing is that whatever is actually whatever it is that you get is exactly what your dependents also get. Do you understand what I mean? So yeah, so the cost of studying in Australia. Hi, I see you joining. Augustus, hi, good afternoon, you're so welcome. Okay, so the cost of studying in Australia. Now, for those that study undergraduates, the cost is around 30,840 Canadian dollars to as and above. Do you understand? Now, for those that actually study postgraduates, it goes around. It can go as high as 30,000 and above Canadian dollars. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, for postgraduates, can go as low as 20,000 Canadian dollars and above. Do you understand? Sorry, did I say Canadian? Australian dollars and above. Yeah. So for your master's degree, you can have 20,000 Australian dollars, which is equivalent to 14,400 US dollars. Do you understand? You can go as high as 37,000 Canadian dollars, which is as high as 26,600 US dollars, if you understand what I mean. So that's that about them. And then they have sponsorships too and all of that. So, and their cost of living is also relatively affordable as well. So, and then you get accommodation. You could always pay for your accommodation even before you go to school, depending on what your perks are. Do you understand what I mean? Okay, let me just check through my notes and then I'll get to you. Okay, so Yeah, so living in Australia is amazing. Like I said before, that they have a very beautiful environment. They have multicultural. They have amazing multicultural. What should I use now? They are multiculturally populated. That's the word I wanted to use. And their education system is actually well recognized, and it's really, really good. And their cost of living is quite affordable as well. So it's actually a very good place to stay. And then another amazing thing is everybody gets to pay tax. So even if you're an international student, you get to pay tax. So you get, but the beautiful thing is you get to work while you're studying, which gives you an opportunity, and their accommodations are relatively cheap as well, so which is also a good thing about studying in Australia. So now so the student visa allows you to study short and long-term courses in Australia, allowing you to obtain an internationally recognized Australian qualification. Now, the Australian education system is considered one of the best in the world. The quality of education means you will have an exceptional education and can obtain highly respected qualification that might help you land your dream job. So living in Australia is also amazing, given that with the student visa, it's a great way for you to extend your time in Australia. It allows you to live in Australia for a short or long-term period, depending on the length of your course. You are able to enter and leave Australia as many times as you choose to. And then the student visa typically allows you to work, like I said before, 40 hours per week, 40 hours per fortnight, and throughout the duration of your studies. So 40 hours per fortnight means 40 hours in 2 weeks. That's 20 hours per week. And work unlimited hours during your educational institution, holiday, and breaks. Yeah, you may be able to work full-time for the duration of your course while studying in Australia. So taking your family along, like I said before, that you're allowed to include your families that are eligible, such as your spouses, your de facto partner, your children. Now, what I mean by a de facto partner is a partner that actually you are not married, but you are in a relationship, in a very serious relationship. So say you are not married, but you're in a relationship, you can still apply for visa and still be able to take that partner to Australia. Isn't that amazing? So the way it works is this, yeah? You are not married, but you are going to be showing, you are going to be showing that you've been staying together for at least a year with that partner. You're going to be showing that part of the documents that you'll be providing is that you are not, even though you are not married, you've been staying together for a minimum of a year. Even though you are not married, you've been shown, you've been taking pictures where you guys are actually being sociable. You've been going out a lot. You're going to be showing proof of that. You're going to be showing a lot of proof about the relationship that you share with that person. Do you understand? So as to make the validation of your visa actually come through. So you can definitely, for those that may ask questions that, okay, we are not married, for UK now, we have a lot of students that would say that, although we are not married, can we apply? And we'd always tell you that go and get us your marriage certificates, just show that you are married. We'll say, get us your marriage certificates, get us newspaper publication. But here now, with Australia, despite the fact that you can definitely travel with your spouse, you can travel with your children, you can also have a de facto partner where you guys are not married, but you are actually being able to travel regardless. Do you understand? But you have to show that there is a very strong bond between both of you, and you guys can do that at any time. Now, you can apply for them during your studies, and you can apply for them while you've actually gone. You must just make sure that you declare them in your visa for all these processes. Do you understand? Yeah, so there's no limit to how many eligible courses you can study in Australia. So you can always, the moment you are done with a particular course, you can always apply for another one. The same with UK. Do you understand? You can always apply for another one. So applying for multiple extensions of your study visa may weaken your genuine temporary entry claims. For that reason, it is important that you choose your course wisely. Now, you can always apply for multiple courses. Like the moment you're done with a course, you apply for another one, or you progress forward. But it's always important that you progress forward. But you don't say you're applying for accounting and then you're now shifting again and going to computing. There has to just be a progression within whatever it is that you're applying for. Do you understand what I mean? Now, we have those that would ask that what are their working rights for studying in Australia. Now, you check your work restrictions on your visa. Now, your work restrictions on your visa is very simple. You would look either at your visa grant notice, or you can check your VEVO. That is something that has to do with Australia in particular. If there is a condition like 8105 on your visa, it means that you are limited to work for 40 hours per fortnight and unlimited in school holidays. Do you understand? So per your visa, per the type of visa that you actually get, would give you the right to be able to work. Do you understand? The permission to be able to work in terms of maybe you want to work for 20 hours or you want to work for 40 hours, and your eligibility to be able to work is what I'm trying to say. So now, immigration defines fortnight to be a period of 14 days commencing on a Monday. It is not defined as an average hour completed over the duration of your studies. Yeah, so as per immigration procedures, so that's that about immigration procedures. I'm trying to check through my notes to see if I have more information about Australia. So we have different schools in Australia. First, we have different cities in Australia actually. We have Sydney, we have Melbourne, we have Perth, we have Gold Coast, we have so many, and then we have a whole lot of courses too that you can apply for. We have hospitality management, marketing, English, we have website development, so many courses that you can actually choose from. For your student visa, you would actually be requested to provide your evidence of enrollment, your financial ability, who will be sponsoring you. You need to be able to state that out for your master's degree. And like I said before, that you can actually go with your dependents. So students with dependents, cost could be expected to increase by at least 35% if the student has a spouse. A further 20%, that is a further 20% if the student has just one child, and a further 15% for each additional child plus fees, plus their school fees. So they have to actually show these amounts. Do you understand? So the above amounts apply irrespective of whether or not you are applying as an applicant. Do you understand? So then like I said before, you also need your Ielts. You need your Ielts, your and other documents that I stated earlier. Do you understand? So that is that about Australia. Most student visas allows you to bring your family, like I said, to Australia as dependent. Now, like I said before, the cost for students with families, you would have new and ongoing expenses during your time in Australia. Knowing the average cost is an important step while preparing for your studies in Australia. Now, also, the Department of Home Affairs advises that a single international student requires approximately 20,000 Australian dollars per year for their cost of living. Do you understand? So that is that about their cost of living. And so you can have housing as low as $278 for couples. They have $360. Couple with kids, they have $364 and then couple with kids between 5 and 14, they have $325, and couple with kids between 14 and 24, they have $242. That's in respect of housing, and that's for shared apartments. So we have various cost of living. As a matter of fact, Australia makes it extremely easy and much more affordable for a lot of people to be able to afford. Okay, so just give me a minute. Let me go through my notes. I'm sure that I'm giving you all the information that I have. Okay, immediate family members. Okay, just give me a minute. Let me go through my notes and be sure that I'm giving you all the information. So yeah, like I said about the schools, we have various schools in Australia, various universities in Australia. Like I told you about Griffith already. Griffith has an amazing opportunities too. We have Deakin University, we have James Cook University. So we have a whole lot of universities in Australia that gives amazing opportunities for international students. And then we have amazing courses too. We have engineering, we have accounting, we have nursing, we have social work, we have medical, we have computer science, and an IT professional salary can be as high as 30,000 Australian dollars. So this course is actually really, really lucrative. Do you understand? It gives you an amazing opportunity to be able to stay and study, and then it gives them also your family have the opportunity to be able to stay and study as well. Do you understand what I mean? Now students can earn around 18 to $22 per hour during employment. Yeah, so that's for Australia. Just give me a minute. Let me go through my notes. I'm sure that I'm giving you everything. And then for Australia as well, like I said before, that it's very, very important that you make your applications as soon as possible. Now, Australian High Commission on an average takes between 4 to 12 weeks to process visa. So it's really important that we put in your application as soon as possible for Australia. And like I said before, that we definitely need your Ielts for us to be able to put in for your visa application. Now, upon completion of 2 years of studying in Australia, students are given a 24-month visa, during which they can work full-time or develop skills to attain points for their general skilled migrant policy or PR. So you, like I said, for Australia too, you could always definitely get your permanent residency. Students can apply for various visa categories within 18 months or apply for an employer-sponsored visa for studying in Australia. Yeah, so that is that about Australia. Just give me a minute to go through. Yeah, so I think I've really talked more about Australia. So now let me just give a summary on tips in respect to your permanent residency for Australia. Now, applying for post-study work visa or graduate temporary visas first complete. You can actually always do that just after the completion of your studies. Now, related work experience during post-study work visa, graduate temporary visas is most important. Work experience before studying in Australia is useful in certain circumstances. Choosing a course with possible outcome and occupation on a medium of long-term strategic skills. Next best approach is to choose a course with possible outcomes of occupation in a combined list of eligible skills occupation. Yeah, and then you need to make sure that you choose a course of 2 years academic year so that you can actually apply for your permanent residency. It will actually help to improve your test scores for your permanent residency. And then state nominations can be very adventurous for international students. State nomination can also be very advantageous for international students. Students completing 2 years of study in a regional campus receives extra 5 points. Just the same way as when you study in Canada, you get points, and when you study in UK too, you get points after study for you to be able to apply for your PR. You do the same with Australia as well. And then what else? Now, you need to understand that you need to gather enough skills as well that would help to make your chances of having to apply for your PR much more elaborate. Do you understand? So yeah. So that is that about Australia. So I think I've been able to talk more about Australia. Like I said before, that they have amazing courses for you to apply to for studying in Australia. Just give me a minute. Cost of living. So yeah, for studying in Australia. So that's that about Australia though. Yeah. So now, which will now take me to US, So please just give me a minute. Let me just go through my notes. Okay, so with respect to the United States, yeah, I know that a lot of people also have this very, very great amount of interest in respect to wanting to study in the United States. They have they would always say right now, those that are actually applying to the US and they are saying that they need a visit visa. Right now, they'll tell you that it's not even available. But at least student visas, you still have a chance of actually being able to apply for that. And the processes are actually still the same. You need to be able to apply. I see you joining in, please. I'm saying hi and I'm waving back at you. I just have a lot of information. Okay, so for US, you need to be able to apply as well. Through the same process as well. Get all your documents together, you apply. So now for US, for Canada, you pay some application fee. Do you understand? Even for Australia too, you pay application fee, and then for US you pay application fee for some schools. Not all schools though, but for some schools you do definitely have to pay application fee for them. And then so US is actually an amazing place to study. Just give me a minute, let me go through my notes. The education system is really amazing actually. The education system is amazing. And then definitely give students visas. You can always definitely travel with your dependents. So you can travel with your dependents. Their cost of living is also relatively okay. But the process for US, is not as tedious as Australia and Canada, but it's relatively as tedious as well, because you need serious guidance, because you have to do a whole lot of things, fill a whole lot of forms, and then you have to go for an interview as well. So it's important that you are being prepped for the interview for going to the US. US is also it's a home for diversity and inclusion as well. Do you understand? And the process for you to be able to go through US is that you do a whole lot of research in respect to, like, we would help you to do the research. So if you're interested in US, you could always tell us and give us an update on that, and we would help you. Now, you go through your process. You need to have your financial statement. Now, for UK is the only one where your financial statement is 28 days. Your financial statement for Canada, for US, for Australia, you need a minimum of 6 months bank statement, which I believe you need minimum of 6 months bank statement. Then so you complete your application, you apply for your visa, and then before you know it, you are departing. But it's very important that you have your bank statement is there, all your documents are in play, and it's also very important that we put in your application as soon as possible. Do you understand? It's really, really important. And the US has the world's largest international student population as we speak, with more than 1 million students choosing to broaden their education and life experience in the United States. They have amazing opportunities too, and I'm trying to rush it because now I'm going to be running out of time. The US has amazing opportunities too that they give to international students for them to be able to study with them. And also you definitely can go with your dependents. So just give me a minute, let me just check through. You need to, so the process for you to be able to apply for visa for the US is that you check if you definitely need a visa, and then you choose the visa that you're applying for. So say you're applying for a student visa, and then you need to fill the DS-160, you need to pay your application fee, you need to schedule an interview date, you need to compile your documents together, and then you need to attend the visa interview, and then you wait for the process. That is how that is done. Now, can you travel with your family? Like I said before, that definitely you can travel with your family. The holiday season is a time to spend with your family, definitely. As an international student, you may consider bringing your dependents to the United States to live with you. Now, F1 and M1 students may be eligible to bring their children who are unmarried and under the age of 21, and spouse to live with them while they study in the United States. As with other international students, benefits you must first notify. Part of the benefits is that you must first notify your designated school official that you would like to bring your dependents to the United States, and submit necessary identification information. So say you actually want your students, your dependents to actually join you while you're already studying. You can always declare them in your visa application before you go, and then you would just make sure that your you declare them, and you make sure that your DSO is actually in the know of it, so that you easily be able to bring them in. So once in the United States, dependents must follow certain guidelines, including dependents may depart and re-enter into the United States with proper documentation. Dependents may not work and are not eligible for social security numbers. Dependents may study full-time in a primary or secondary school to meet the compulsory education requirements for minors. Dependents can engage in study. They can engage in study while they are in the United States. Then dependents should they should definitely obtain the Form I-20 from the DSO in any Form I-20 information, or in any Form I-20 information for the F1 and M1 student or dependent changes. Now, dependents may file for a change of status. Also, they have the eligibility to do that. So that's for the dependent. Just give me a minute. Now, planning to study in the US on an F1 and M1 visa. If so, your spouse or minor children, like I said before, that are under the age of 21 may request for the visa to come and stay in the United States with you. They are eligible for visas F2 and M2. So you are going for the F1 and M1, but your dependents are going for the F2 and M2, simply by virtue of being a spouse or a child. In other words, they won't have to prove that they are coming to the United States for specific purposes, such as travel or study. Your family members will not get visa automatically. However, as discussed, as we are actually discussing about it now, you would also have to realize that certain consulates, particularly those Southeast Asia, they have been known to deny student visas to family members in order to ensure return of students. So I just wanted to give that as an information. So yeah, let me just go through my notes. What family members? Yeah, so for you to be able to get your visa, first you would have to prove that the applicants are really your spouse. That's your dependent. They are really your spouse or your dependent, as discussed. So your family member will also have to fill out a separate set of application forms. Yeah, they will have to fill out a separate set of application form. That's for the dependent, and yeah, and like I said, they have to get an F2 and M2 form to fill. Now, if you want to bring your spouse or children to the United States while you study, you will have to prove that they are in fact your child and your spouse. And to do so, you use official marriage and birth certificates accompanied by complete transactions of everything that you're actually submitting has to be in English. So in respect to the documents that you want to submit. So these are just, yeah. So although your family members' visa application are dependent on yours, each member of your family would need to be just as careful as you are to prepare for complete application. So please, I would like to urge you that if you actually want to put in for your application for US, for your dependents, please make sure that you actually go through an agency like ours, so that we can push you through and then put you through in respect to how to go about it. Do you understand? We advise that you don't do this by yourself, because you need to be very careful. Now, for US, the documentation for US is actually much. You need to be able to know the particular type of documents that you need to put in at the right time. So please don't do this on your own. Just make sure that you go through us, and we would help you. And then you still, like, part of the fees that you actually need to pay for US is you also need to pay your service fee. Is also part of the fees that you need to pay while applying for your US visa. Do you understand? You need receipts for having filled your DS-160 when applying for your visa. You need one digital passport for your DS-160. You need proof of family members' relationship with you. You need a copy of your family members' service dependent form 120, and then you need passports valid for at least 6 months beyond your family members' intended period of stay. Then documents showing that your family members will return to your home country for reasons of their own. Then copies of your documents showing that you can pay for your tuition fees for the whole family has to also be showing. And like I said before, that you need 6 months bank statement, and then your visa fee also needs to be paid. So those are some of the information that I have in respect to you relocating to US. Now let me go through your questions and see questions that I have. I know that today's presentation has really been long, but just permit me to go through your questions and then we'll take it off, because I'm even surprised that you Instagram hasn't logged me out yet. I see someone trying to join. Let me just try and see if I can accept. Someone says, hello, is the UK study visa decision process still 6 weeks, please? No, it is actually reduced though. It's actually reduced to I think about say it's not up to 5 weeks anymore. As a matter of fact, it's not up to 5 weeks anymore. So Justice says, looking good, more. Thank you so much. Cute smile. Good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you so much for still being here and for still hanging on. I hope that all that I just said about these different countries were really explicit. Now, if you need more information about them, please just send us a DM and then we'll tell you more about them. I just wanted to, the truth is that I have a lot to talk about with respect to this topic, but I just had to, due to the short notice, summarize everything as little as I can. Do you understand? So that I could actually pass the message across to you. Do you guys work with specific schools in Canada? Yes, we do. So please send us a DM in respect to that, and we'll definitely push you through. Do you understand? We have specific schools that we work with in Canada. Do you have university partners in Canada and US? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. My question is, my WAEC original certificate date of birth is not correct. Instead of January 2019 something, they have April. What can I do when I'm doing my visa? Okay, official had something. Sorry, please. I didn't pronounce your name well. I'm sorry about that. But I would advise that you get an affidavit for that, to show that the date of birth is different, and ensure that your international passport, the date of birth on your international passport is what you are calling your valid date of birth. So please get an affidavit for that. Do you understand? So can I get, sorry, please, if you have any other questions, just drop your questions in the comment section. I'll be sure to attend to you. Now, can I get an unconditional offer without my transcript? No, you cannot. We would advise that you can still apply for application with your with your student copy transcripts, or if you have your certificate and you have your statement of purpose, statement of results, sorry, we can definitely apply for you. But would advise that you get your transcript as soon as possible, because the school will not give you an unconditional offer if you do not have it. Okay, so I hope I've been able to answer your question. Adenuga, hi, good afternoon. Ogoche says hi, good afternoon. Rosa says, looking good. Oh, thank you so much. Good afternoon. Okay, yeah. That's our general manager. That's Rose. Hi, good afternoon, Rose. Okay, someone says hello. Which university do you have in the UK? My dear, we have a lot of universities in the UK, as a matter of fact, a whole lot of universities in the UK. So if you're interested, please send us a DM. I will definitely attend to you. Do you understand? Someone says, is it all schools in Canada that usually request for IELTS? No, it's not all schools in Canada that request for IELTS. Some schools do, but it is very important that you get your IELTS for the embassy. Do you understand? The embassy will always request for your IELTS, so it's important that you just get it once and for all. So someone says hi. Someone says, oh, okay, I'm trying to add someone to join me, but it's not joining. It's not joining. So if you want to join this live, you could just send me a request and I will be happy to actually add you on. Okay, so someone says, how much is the budget? Family of 3 to the UK. Now it depends. It depends on the school and it depends on your tuition fee. I can't pronounce Leye. It depends on your tuition fee. So please send us a DM so that we can help you to look for the lowest tuition fee and be able to help you do the calculation, because we have to calculate it for you. Do you understand? In respect to that, someone says, do I need IELTS for the admission and visa processing? For which country are we talking about? Perry, please tell me, which country are we talking about here? Okay, I'm looking for your questions. At what stage is my husband's passport needed? Because his passport is still in process. Okay, yeah. So if you are the primary applicant, your husband's passport would have definitely be needed when you are applying for visa. So right now, he can still wait a bit while you're applying for your visa. His passport will definitely be needed. Now, if one gets an English proficiency document from their school, will it suffice for the IELTS? No, it won't. Now, some schools will request for the English proficiency in addition to the WAEC that you have or the NECO. Do you understand? But IELTS is completely different too. So they will still require for the English proficiency just to be sure that you've been taught in English in your university. Do you understand? They just want to be sure that, okay, your university, you were taught in English, but it still doesn't change the fact that you will submit that IELTS. You will still have to submit that. Do you understand what I mean? Now, are there free schools for children in UK? Yes. I think it's below 4 years old. So your child starts studying at the age of 4, and then yes, you can definitely they're actually free from 4 years old and above. It's actually free for them to study. Yes, so unlike Canada, yes, you can actually study for free. So your children can. Can I get a scholarship to study in UK or Canada? Daniel, hi, good afternoon. Now, we don't process scholarships. What we process is reduced fees for you. Would advise that you apply for the scholarships to the schools directly by yourself. But what we can get for you is discounted fees from the school. So we'll be able to process you for discounted fees if you don't not mind. Okay, so do I have more questions? Or would you just want to join? Let me see if I can accept people to actually join. Let me see if Rose can join me here. So I just want to see if I can accept people to join in. So if you're interested, you can actually join and just say hi and then you go. Do you understand? Just to see your face and say hi. They say hi. Hi, good afternoon. Okay, I'm interested in relocating my family to Canada via studies. Which schools do you partner with there? Okay, so for more information about the schools we partner with, please send us a DM and we'll definitely let you know about it. Do you understand? You can always send us a DM and then we'll get back to you on that. Do you understand? So I just want to see if I can actually accept someone. I'm actually really, really surprised that Instagram hasn't logged me out yet. But I think this is more about the information that I have for you, and I hope that they've been really, really educative and we've been able to get one or two things from it. So thank you so, so much for being here. I'm really, really grateful for having you here today. I say thank you so much. Mora, hi, you're just joining. Just joining. I'm actually about leaving. Hi, how you doing? I'm waving back at you. But you can always watch this video on our Instagram page. It will definitely be there, so you can always rewatch this. Should you have any questions, you could always send us a DM, and we'll definitely be attending to it. Okay. So thank you so, so much for being here. Thank you so much, Oluwaseun. You are so late. You are so, so, so late. But you could always watch this video on our Instagram page. Do you understand? So thank you so much for being here. I'm actually about to go. Thank you so much for having me. And until same time next week, please always join Nexi. We'll always be here for you. Always. All right. Take care. Bye. Have a lovely day.